Hey, it's Brian Wright, Daily Beat 193. So yesterday, I went to a client's house. I do a personal training at somebody's home, and we do kickboxing. He does jiu-jitsu at another place. And the one thing we kept running into for the past couple weeks was that he's always hurt. I'm like, why always hurt? And he was talking about how he's a white belt and he doesn't know anything. And at the school he's at, he just keeps getting beat down. They're cranking his neck and wrenching his shoulder and slamming him really hard and grinding him out. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on there. It's like you really don't know anything. And why are guys of higher skill level just beating you up? And you're saying, well, you know, and I'm like, wait a minute. The well, you know part, it's just not acceptable. We're going into this now. You're making up excuses for just bad behavior. And it just speaks to something that bugs me. And that is the idea of just because we're of a higher status than somebody else, we can be abusive towards them and then brainwash ourselves into thinking, oh, we're making them better. That's really not true. What's happening is that you were part of a system where when you were a beginner, the people of higher status were very abusive towards you. And then you feel like now it's time to get your licks back. It's time for you to have the power that you didn't over people that were in the position you were. So you've made a critical error if you're going to behave that way. One, you're in the middle of a culture created by somebody else that basically you have an asshole that created a bullshit culture that now you're subscribing to, and now you're becoming an asshole and you're participating in the bullshit. But more importantly, the biggest mistake you're making is that you're ignoring what you needed when you were in that position. You're giving the person below you retribution for what someone above you did. That's completely unacceptable. For you to be abusive to somebody because someone was once abusive to you is just continuing a cycle that is just bullying and bullshit. I don't care if this is martial culture, if this is your personal life, if this is work. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're not being for somebody what you wanted or needed when you were in that position, what are you doing? You're just continuing the thing that you were complaining about before, the thing that you recognized is wrong, you are now being. You have an opportunity to evolve the process, or you have an opportunity to continue allowing the process to be what it's going to be. For me, I want to be for every person I run into the person I needed when I was in their position. So when I was abused by a black belt because I wasn't a black belt yet, and they were just getting their licks back and putting the screws to me just because they could, and then they tried to give me this brainwash bullshit that, oh, it was done to me and it made me who I am. Yeah, it made you a dick. It didn't make you better. It made you a dick. If it made you better, what are you talking about? The abuse didn't do anything to you. It obviously didn't humble you. It turned you into a bully. That's not the process. The process is to make us better at the things we do. So when we hand information down in a way that lifts people up, that elevates us. When we hand information down or don't even give the information and just keep people down, that just keeps us where we are. That's just standing on a bunch of people that we're not allowing to rise. But if we're here and the other people are here and we let them rise, they don't rise above us. They continue to push us if we maintain that supportive role. That's the biggest lesson I've learned over leadership and time. I readily admit that I was the dick because I came up in a system where I was abused by people above me because they felt like now they were entitled to be that way. And then I was waiting for my turn to be the entitled asshole. But over time I came to realize really clearly that being the entitled asshole didn't do anything except create a bullying culture and create even a business model that's not sustainable. I'm not able to grow a business. I'm not able to grow a community. I'm not able to call myself a leader unless I'm elevating people's status and doing it in a way that gets them to understand that it's the relationship between my knowledge and their effort and their greater understanding of things that makes everything have progress. I have students that, I guess when I was younger, I used to be afraid that, maybe someone's going to rise above me. Maybe that was there. But the reality of it is every time I push someone forward, every time that they get better because of my engagement in the process in a positive way, I continue to get better. I know my craft better. I get to put that notch on my belt saying that, yes, I gave someone the platform and the opportunity and the base level of knowledge that allowed them to make their own progress. And if I do it in a mutually beneficial way with the right people, those people, they recognize that their progress is due to the start that we did together. They can rise above me and beyond me, but they always take me with them. Or not always, but more times than not, they're taking me with them because I'm being respectful to their unique position in the world as well. We can't, ignore our humanity, our need to be individuals, our need as people you can't ignore that, expect people to maintain your own status. You have to allow people to be who they are. You have to allow people to get credit for their own efforts. You have to allow people to think. You have to allow people to take chances. You have to allow people to do things of their own effort with their own ideas. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't work. The same way it was for you. If you're in a leadership position, you've clearly failed a tremendous amount of times, and you've clearly won a tremendous amount of times. The balance of the two is what puts you in the leadership position. It's not winning all the time. It's not suppressing people so that you can lead. I don't want to lead people that have been suppressed. I don't want to lead beat down people. I want to lead hard chargers, people that are embracing their life, embracing positive things and are going for it. And I can attach myself to that energy. I can be a part of that process. I can create greater things with a lot of people. That's what I want. That's what I see as the opportunity. I don't see any positive in me kicking the shit out of somebody that's new because someone kicked the shit out of me once before. I know how shitty that made me feel. I know how inferior an instructor I was in the beginning because of that culture. It took me 20 years to get over myself, to understand it's not about me. It's about the people that I'm leading. It's about the people that are choosing to trust me. Because without their trust, without that community, I can't be a leader. I can't be a teacher. I'm not afraid of these people leaving. I'm not afraid of anything. I have confidence in my ability. I have confidence in the things that I do. I have confidence that there are good people out there that are going to subscribe to what it is that I'm trying to provide. They're going to be better for it, and they're going to stay a part of this community because they see its value. Is it really that hard to understand that? But the key thing here is, and this is not me blowing smoke up my own ass, but the key is, if you want to go down this route, you actually have to know something. You actually have to be good at something. You actually have to be able to communicate that in a way that provides value to the people you're working with. If you don't have those things, most likely you're going to be part of the bullshit bullying culture where you're going to scare people into following you. You're going to scare people into not leaving you. You're going to have an iron-fisted control on these people because you're afraid that they're going to go out into the world and they're going to see how inferior you actually are. So when you're the instructor that's telling people how good you are, you're just unrecognized, but you're not providing anything except fucking stories and injuries, you're a dick. But if you're providing people a platform to be better, and you're providing them a system to be better, if you're training people in a way that they're not broken, not battered, not mentally fatigued so bad that they can't function, if you're giving them the skills to be better, actually stronger, physically stronger, mentally stronger, spiritually stronger, better relationships, more effective in their daily lives, now you're onto something. But if you're just being a bully, you're being a dick. So don't be a dick. Figure out, are you really good at this? Whatever this is for you. Are you actually good at it? Do you provide it in a way that brings value to the people that you're supposedly leading? Or are you just trying to crush these people into following you because you're afraid of the truth coming out? You got to be honest with yourself. You have to be real about what it is you're doing. Don't be a bully. Don't be a dick. Let's push the system forward, and let's always, every fucking time, be for the person standing in front of you who you needed when you were standing in front of somebody else. Don't be the abusive asshole. Be the supportive, knowledge-providing, strength-building, benefit-giving leader that we all have the potential to be. All right, so this is Brian, the Daily Bee, out.